November is Children's Grief Awareness Month, and according to the Childhood Bereavement Estimation Model, 1 in 13 children in Texas will experience the death of a parent or sibling by the age of 18, and experiencing this will have a lifelong impact on a lot of kids. So here to tell us about an organization providing resources is Shubhra Endley and Diane Beck. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
So let's quickly talk about the organizations that you're representing. Shubhra, tell us about Communities in Schools.
Sure. Communities in Schools is a nonprofit here in the Houston area. We've been around for 46 years, providing support to students and families embedded right in the school campuses. And right now we're in 135 schools.
Yeah, and Diane, tell us about Beau's Place.
Sure. Beau's Place has been in Houston almost 35 years, and we offer free support groups. We're a bereavement center.
So explain to our viewers why so many kids are experiencing grief.
So we were noticing an uptick in depression and anxiety even before the pandemic.
Right.
And then after the pandemic, I think at that time there was 250,000 children that had lost their parent. And so we were seeing an uptick in the need to provide bereavement support for children post-pandemic. Mm-hmm. And right now, every time you see something that's happening, even on the news, like could be a car accident or a domestic violence situation and loss experienced through that, those are just kinds of bereavement situations that students may be bringing to school and needing support.
Mm-hmm. How does this negatively impact children? Diane, can you tell us about what you see at Beau's Place?
Yes, and so grief definitely impacts, we say the whole body. So
Sure.
We talk about that with students specifically, we can see changes in behavior. We can definitely see changes in their learning. So being more forgetful, unable to concentrate or focus because they miss their loved one. Or as Shubhra mentioned, that they may have witnessed something very tragic in their loved one's death. And so they're just definitely very affected. It affects their schooling, affects their social, their friendships, and their identity, because if they've lost someone, that may be tied to their identity. So just feeling very lost and confused.
And the stats that we said, introducing you guys, 1 in 13 kids in Texas. So you guys can attest that there really are that many children dealing with this.
Yes.
How would you identify if a child was struggling with grief?
Oftentimes, because our staff is embedded full-time on a school campus, a teacher may notice that a student has been, especially the younger ones, crying in class. Student attendance can be affected, so maybe student has stopped coming to school. And often the parents reach out to school staff, say, hey, we need support for our child, and that is how they get referred to Communities in Schools programs.
Okay. How can we support a child that we know might be dealing with grief?
Currently, for this month where we are acknowledging childhood grief, the campaign is saying flip the script. And pretty often when it's a child that's experiencing loss, we want to step in and we want to say it's going to be okay.
Yeah, we want to make them feel better immediately.
And try to give this advice. And really what we're wanting people to recognize this month is sometimes just being quiet and silent and just holding space with that child is what's important, active listening.
Well, we're losing time, so I want to ask you just quickly, the healing process, can you be healed from grief? It's such a scary emotion. We want to know that it can get better. As adults, we want to know that we can assure them of something, even if we are just there to listen. But can a child ever overcome grief?
And so we say it's not about forgetting their person or getting over, it's learning how to live now. It's a new normal and learning how to live without the person present. And so that's why the support groups that Beau's Place offers, both in a facility, and we partner with Communities in Schools to actually do these groups at the schools, meet the kids where they are, and provide that support, teach them coping skills, and we do it all for free thanks to generous donations and grants.
Love that. Where can people learn more about your organizations?
They can go to our website. It's cishouston.org.
And they can go to Beau's Place website, beausplace.org.
Thank you guys so much, Shubhra and Diane. We appreciate your time this morning. Great information.